welcome you today to our online info session for the Certificate in Accounting program at Ashton College. My name is Adam, and I'm from the Marketing and Communications team. We have Sanjay here today, who is part of the accounting faculty at Ashton College, and he will be answering questions about accounting and its career path. Sanjay, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, my pleasure.
We also have Demi in the back end monitoring our online chat. Now, there are lots of ways to engage with us during this session, and we love hearing your questions. On Zoom, you can use the chat box, the question and answer box, or the raise hand function. If you are tuning in on Facebook Live, you can leave us a comment and we will be able to answer your questions live during the session. If you're watching this video on YouTube, you can leave us a comment or give us a call at 604-899-0803 or our toll-free number 1-866-759-6006. Now, before we start, I just want to share a little bit about the program with you all. Ashton College's Certificate in Accounting program is accredited by both the Canadian Bookkeeper Association and Certified Professional Bookkeepers of Canada. As for the program dates and fees, in-class session starts on September 12th, and the live online full-time session starts on November 7th, while the live part-time session starts on September 13th. Full-time webinars are held Monday to Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. PST. Part-time webinars are held Tuesdays to Thursday from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. PST. And for those of you choosing the in-class option, classes are held Monday to Friday from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. PST. The application fee is $40 for domestic students and $140 for international students. The tuition fee is $3,450 for domestic students and $4,485 for international students. All this information can be found on the program webpage. And now, on to our interview portion. Sanjay, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How about you? I'm doing awesome.
Doing fine myself here. All right, so I guess we shall start with the first question. Could you start by sharing with us what made you want to get into this field? How did you get started?
Okay. Interestingly, what I would say is, my family background is something to do with that because both my parents were professors in university. I also got an opportunity to teach MBA courses while I was in my country. So I had already a passion for teaching, and it was just a matter of getting an opportunity to do it. So all along, initially I was working in different organizations, and then after that, I got in to talk to or interacted with Ashton College, and they gave me an opportunity to teach their courses, and that's how I am in here now. And I'm basically very excited and really grateful to Ashton College that they gave me that opportunity. And it started way back in 2018, and now it's still continuing. So yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Can you tell us a little bit about your career experience and educational background?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I am basically a certified, chartered professional accountant and also a certified public accountant from states. So I basically have an accounting background, and when I was in my own country, there I was working in different organizations and accounting, field. Moved to states, and there I worked there for almost 10 years in big companies in the accounting department. Uh, and then after that, I moved to Canada, and then I did my CPA from here. During the time, I was working with accounting firms, gaining the useful experience, understanding the Canadian way of doing things. And then once I got very comfortable with things, then I started uh, basically moving into different jobs and getting that experience. So I have a very broad experience of more than a decade, you can say. So that's what my is. And I'm, again, as I mentioned to you, my background is accounting. I have a taxation background also, because tax is something which is always there. So all that, this is my background, you can say. Yeah.
Okay. How did you get involved with Ashton College?
Yeah. So as I mentioned to you initially in my first
Yeah.
question, first time. So basically, I was looking to, uh, get an additional, or I would say not additional, just share some my experience with
Mm,
the people, because I had gained good experience in accounting background, accounting, field. So I wanted to share my all my whatever I have learned, my expertise, and whatever experience I had with the students whom I could help, who are interested in doing accounting courses. So that's how I started contacting different colleges. I contacted Ashton. I also worked in another college before this, but then I got an opportunity with work with Ashton College. They offered me this job and said, "Yeah, that's fine. You are perfect match for that." And I was like, "Okay." I was excited because I all along wanted to become, have a portion of my life as a teacher. Also, I'm currently doing my own job, but at the same time, I am also imparting, knowledge to students and making them getting, better at doing things. Yeah.
spoken like a true educator. I wish all the teachers would have your mindset. I know some would
Yeah.
have some, but some would be,
Yeah.
positive about it. But yeah, that's. I think I also share your same sentiment because I also want to be an educator in the
Good.
future too.
Good.
Okay. This question: how is the certificate in accounting program beneficial for students? What do you think students will enjoy or appreciate the most about this program?
Yeah. So basically, as you have already mentioned, Adam, earlier, that doing these courses help you to get, become a bookkeeper and become, part of a bookkeeper association, which is excellent. And in addition to that, the best thing about this course is that it's very practically oriented course. It's like a, it's a, it's not like just like a regular college course. It's more like a course which is professional in nature. And after doing this course, basically you will become more comfortable and be able to excel as a bookkeeper in any company that you join in, because you get a very good hands-on experience while you are in this course, which is a must. And in today's market, as we can say, what's happening, I will talk about that later on, but for now, that's what it is basically. So it's an excellent program. It exposes you to financial accounting, to payroll, taxes, and all both the softwares which we are having right now, QuickBooks and Sage Accounting. Both are very extensively used softwares in the accounting field.
Okay, all right. And what are some of your favorite classes to teach or aspects of the program that you get most excited about when teaching?
Basically, I can. It's very difficult to pinpoint which particular one I like. I love all of them, but if you really want me to, I will think about like the courses where I have to interact and do do the softwares. Basically, the software one is which I like. I like doing tax, teaching tax classes. I'm currently in the taxation field, so it is definitely something which I is always I enjoy doing that. And these are the few areas. The main thing is that when I get that the ability, or I get to teach the softwares, that's where I get very excited, because that's what this whole course is about. Because once you have that theoretical knowledge, and then when you combine this with practical knowledge, now you're ready to move into the real field. That's what how I take it.
Yeah, right. And especially with especially with our growing, I guess technological advancements,
Yeah,
you would say, right?
absolutely, absolutely,
It's much
absolutely.
needed, right? Okay, and what is your teaching style like? People might be curious about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Teaching style, I am basically work like a team member. Basically, what my main aim is that whenever I'm teaching, it's not like one way. I expect other, the a participative thing, like all the students should participate, they should ask questions in between, we can have a lively discussion about stuff. And that's that way I really get very excited, because I can then share my tips, all my whatever I have learned experience in a better way. If I just keep on communicating one way, then it becomes very and then you do not get that the spark to really go into it. So that's why I personally want people who are really here to learn things, to become a better professional, and I am there to help them. And if I can be a value addition through this process, wonderful. That's what I my teaching style is.
Wholeheartedly agree. Wholeheartedly agree. You will want to also enjoy the benefits, the reap the benefits of teaching. Yeah. How do you find the online environment for a classroom?
Yeah, online environment is pretty good. The good thing about is that the students, they are sitting at home and they can work at their own space. I mean to say, they can be there at without any driving all the way. So that's a very good thing. Secondly, when we are online, we are able to get things more. To say that we can get more things accomplished, because there are certain things which when I'm talking on the talking and interacting, they can come and put the question in the chat. And that way I'm not like kind of sidelined from the whatever I'm teaching. So that's what I like about the online thing, where if you have any questions, you can put it on the chat, and then once I'm finished with it, I can keep on looking and answering the questions from there. And this way, I personally feel that you interact more, you feel more develop that relationship. Yes, the live one is always there, that will always be the best way to do it. But the way things are changing nowadays, I think we are moving towards the technology, use of a technology, and a lively discussion like a Zoom meeting, where everybody, we get to see each other. And it's almost like as if we are sitting in front of each other. Basically, we are like, it's a live session. So that thing is also like kind of going away. So now we almost, it's better to have this kind of situation, because sometimes you might not be uh, you might be stuck in traffic somewhere and then you are like having problem to reach there, or maybe you are getting late for something. So now with this online course, we can basically remove those obstacles, those hurdles, and focus on the main stuff, which is learning. We can have within 5-10 minutes we are online, and we can be on in the class, basically. On the other hand, if we are doing offline, then of course we have to drive and then come there. And by the time you drive, come there, you might be a little bit not very happy. Maybe the traffic is bad or something, so you are not fully focused. Online helps you to fully focus on what's being learned, and that is what I like about the online courses.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
What are your expectations of the students who enroll in the program, and how much study time will students need each week to be successful?
Yeah, see it regarding the how much time it will take. Well, it depends on the person. The person, if they're new to this profession, because I know there are people who might be interested in joining their or changing their whatever profession they are in, and trying to change it now. They might have to spend extra time studying it, and really learning the basic stuff, concepts about it. So for them, I would say somewhere around maybe 15 to 20 hours a week should be at least a starter. Spend more time during the weekends. I know during the week you might be working. Most of people are professional, they are working full time, so they might not get that much opportunity. But I personally feel that you should always have at least 1 hour minimum every day, and go through whatever is being taught in the video. And that is where the best thing is. This way you can spend 1 hour and be in touch with what's going on. Because if, let's say, you have a gap in between and you come back, and then you are like kind of don't know what's going on. So best way is, do it at least 1 hour a day minimum, and on the weekends, try to spend as much time as possible. That is what I personally feel should be the main thing. And the expectations, as I mentioned to you earlier, I believe in teamwork. So the more participative the sessions are, the better it is. I don't want it to be a monologue. And That's how I expect the students, because if they're really serious about getting into this profession, doing it well, or they are already in this profession and they want to hone their skills further, best way to do is to be part of the group, part of the discussion, and be, always be in the forefront. I personally feel that the student should ask me questions so that I am challenged to the maximum. Because if I mean, I'm not like, I don't know everything, but at least, if some very intelligent questions come up, I might not have the answer at that point, but I will definitely go back and, try to get the answer for that. So this is how, I expect the students to be fully involved, fully engrossed when they're doing this course. It's a professional course. It's not just like a regular college course. So that's how I feel.
Mm. Okay, good to
Yeah.
know. Good to know. What are the career options or typical next steps for students after they graduate from the program?
Yeah, basically, once you complete this course, you get the bookkeeping association member, you become the member of it. That really adds to your resume. So you can then start looking for, jobs depending upon what kind of a job you're looking for, because some people will like to stick to, let's say, accounts payable only. Some people might like to stick in account receivable, which means that, you are doing only invoices, or that's what your role is. Or you could become a full-fledged bookkeeper, where you are doing everything, including, the dealing with customers, dealing with vendors, and also, doing your bank reconciliation. So all those areas are there. So it depends on what is your main goal. If you are just a
Mm.
starter, if you are just getting into the profession, maybe a small, starting with a small portion of it will definitely help you. And as you gain confidence in it, then you can go further thing. The main thing should be becoming a very good bookkeeper. And let me tell you, bookkeeping is something which is becoming, which is changing with time now. It is no longer the bookkeeping where, we just do it, just have those invoices with us, record it, and that's it. We have to have the skills to understand what is going on, be able to appreciate, be able to pinpoint to our bosses, okay, look, this looks like this is how it should be done. You should not just be expecting that I will go there, it will start working. You have to really work through it. There are very good employers who are looking for, people like you. But the main thing is how much hands-on practice you have done in these courses would help you, to get a good offer at any time. So that's how I take it.
Mm. Good
Yeah.
insight. Good insight.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to interrupt. Well, we actually have a question from Facebook Live, and it says, "What is your favorite part about working in this industry?"
The favorite part is dealing with numbers. Every time the numbers are in front of me, so I like numbers. Also, like, doing the being more organized. I personally feel that this kind of a course, or this kind of profession, makes you get more organized about doing things. Working under pressure is something which I like, I thrive in. And because when you're doing an accounting and there is like a month end going on, and you have to be really focused, that's where, you really enjoy it. It's a challenge basically, and I love challenges, and that's how I feel.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I have I have a question. What's a typical day in the life of an accountant?
Yeah, that's it can vary, but the main thing that you have to understand is that, of course, email is one thing which will you always be in. So make sure that you are having a proper email correspondence with your, bosses all the time. Email with the suppliers, again depending upon what kind of a role you are in. If you are in a role of a bookkeeper, your starting point would be, having lots of, invoices in front of you, and you have to record them properly. Maybe you have to interact with the customer. Maybe you might have to call a supplier for something. So this is where it can, vary from time to time, but this is like a typical uh, job that you normally do. In addition to that, also sometimes like when you're going in, you are doing reconciliation of different accounts from time to time periodically. So that is also a very, very important aspect. You have to take it. Uh, and Back and forth emails definitely go in, a lot of them. Many time email is a very good communication we tool in our hands. So communicating with them, with the our customers, our vendors, that's our main thing. Depending upon, if you're a full-time bookkeeper, you might have a very good opportunity to talk to the vendor over the phone, over the with the customer, sorting out things, on all that thing. It depends what kind of a situation you are in. You could get some very good projects also. Sometimes, there are certain accounts which are not properly reconciled. So they might say, okay, here is the what you have. Can you please, look into this and try to see if you can reconcile them? So that is also something which can come up. These are called special projects. So again, it depends on how much you are, learning. They will then accordingly give you. But this is the typical, process that we have usually as an accountant or as a bookkeeper, I would say.
Wow, there's a lot of interaction actually.
I mean, that's a good thing about it, because
The-
otherwise, if you're just doing a monotony, just entering the invoices without like, doing anything, that becomes boring. So a portion of it will
Mm,
be entering the invoices, lots of invoices. Again, depending upon which company you're working in. If it's a small company, maybe, but still there might be invoices. How many, you might be having vendor invoices, you might be having the, the other invoices from the, from your customer, or I mean, sorry, basically you're giving to the customer the invoices. So anytime you have these kind of things, also bank reconciliation, talking to the banking official if you have some issues. More nowadays, the things are banking is kind of interaction is going down. The reason being because everything is online now. So that is where you will yourself see yourself that all the reconciliation issues kind of take care of it in the banking thing. But still, you might have something, you might have to go to a bank personally if you have a check and deposit it. These kind of things can also come up sometimes. So, but yeah, this is how it is at this point, and I think it makes it exciting. The main thing about anything that you're doing in any industry is to make sure that you have variety. So that is what I personally feel one should strive for. But initially, please be prepared. You might be required to enter lots of invoices. So be prepared for that. I usually, when I was working at that lower level at that time, or starting level, I would say, not lower level. There's nothing called lower or upper. It's called starting level. At that point, I was entering invoices. Initially, you say, oh, yeah, what the heck? This is not a good thing to do. But then I started, getting interested in it, trying to see what I'm, what I'm accomplishing. Maybe, putting a stock watch on my hand and say, okay, how many invoices can I do it accurately? Accuracy is very, very important. That's one thing I wanted to overemphasize. Please, accuracy, error, please try to cut down errors to the minimum. Very, very important. And that is where this course that you are doing will help you to become more organized. So try to take it as a kind of like a workshop where you are here to learn the things and be able to use it, apply it. That's why the book is there. There are so many questions which come in there. There are so many, scenarios which we discuss. So try to be very serious about it, and that way you will get the maximum out of this course.
mm. Wow,
Yeah.
very insightful. What advice would you give to students who are brand new to the industry or changing careers from something radically different?
Yeah, that's something which I had experience of, having students who were, some of them were into a totally different profession and they decided to go into accounting. One first advice: you have the what you call soft skills, which you would have acquired in your old job. So those soft skills are very easily transferable. With that mindset, plus the like when you did your particular profession where you are in, and when you thought about it, when you started with same passion, start this profession also. The more passionate you are about, the more excited you are about, the more inquisitive you are about, the more you will get out of the course and be able to pull through things. Initially, yes, there will be a difficulty. You will not understand certain topics. You will not understand certain things which are being told. And that's where the role of instructor comes in. So if you're not understanding something, feel free to ask questions. Question is something you should ask. Don't, there is no dumb question. This is, remember that. So if you are a starter, you will not have, you might have, very, very basic questions, and don't feel shy to ask them. If you don't understand something, please ask. This is your opportunity to really clear your basic concepts. Once you start getting the understanding of the basic concepts, then you can build on it slowly and slowly. And once you've decided that you want to become an accountant or bookkeeper, yes, put your heart and soul into it. That's how I will say.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That being said, what qualities or characteristics make people best suited for this career path?
Yeah. It has changed over a period of time. Earlier, it was more like, you being a bookkeeper, you were able to do the data entry, and that's what it is. But things have changed dramatically. And nowadays, with the way the competition has been there, and then, what happened, the COVID in the past 2 years, now the industry has a very different mindset now. Now they are looking for people who can really, start their job immediately. Immediately means like, not lot of training is required. That is one thing. Please understand that's a very, very important thing, which is definitely coming up nowadays. So these courses which you are doing, like the course which we have at Ashton College, these courses are a foundation. And the stronger your foundation is, the better are your chances to convince your would-be employer that I can do the job. Don't immediately, go there as a raw person. Please be very, very important. Nowadays, everybody is looking for a person who can immediately start the job, at least has a very good basic understanding of how it is done. Yes, they will train you. It doesn't mean they will not train you. But if you come there with a total, blank face and try to do stuff, then that will not work. Things have changed dramatically. There are so many people out there who are looking for jobs, and there are so many employers who want to get good bookkeepers, good accountants, so that their work is minimized. Yeah. And yeah, because it's something very, very important, because the way things are nowadays, if I as a bookkeeper, I'm working in a company, I'm a bookkeeper of the company, I'm doing my day-to-day transactions, I'm doing everything. And at some point I commit a mistake or an error, and I'm not able to catch it. Now the accountant who's doing the taxes for this company comes and points out this error. That's something the employer is not going to like it. So try to be the person to find your errors or your mistakes. So that is what it is all about. It's a challenging thing. It's a challenging environment, but a paying environment. But it is always in demand. Everybody wants a good, person who can handle things. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
wow. And what about those who are interested in the career path? Because honestly, like hearing from you, accounting does sound very enticing. But like would want to hone specific skills. Like what are the certain skills that one should focus on practicing, and what are some methods in like doing so?
Yeah. So if you are like, have a basic understanding of accounting, yes, then you are ready to go take that step, one step ahead. Now, what will happen is that the solid understanding of the softwares is a must. You should be able to understand what is going on in the software, how the transactions are happening in there. That is the first step in that direction. Plus, because as an accountant, you start when the bookkeeper's job ends. So if your bookkeeping job is a very good job, then your chances of getting a promotion as an accountant becomes much higher. Having said that, this course will not it's not sufficient in itself. It is definitely a very good starting point as a bookkeeper. It's basically going to hone your skills so that you become very, very, sure of what you're doing. That is the first step. With that basic understanding of how accounting works and everything, then you should try to pursue other courses. Like nowadays people do CPA, they join CPA, the UBC and at the BCIT, they run these courses where you can, join these courses and go that one notch higher and try to complete those courses. And once you get those courses, they really help you to get into the CPA profession, which can be, it's a very, very challenging one, but hard, but really it's a paying profession. It's something that it's unbelievable. I mean, you can't even think about how much opportunities are there in this particular profession as you go higher up. So yeah, the basic grounding has to be absolutely really good. It's just like a building. If a building doesn't have a proper grounding base, or what will happen? It will collapse or it will fall at some point. So that is where your role should be. Once you have that thing, you want to go a notch higher, please look for other courses which help you to go that step higher and go into the accounting, advanced taxation, and other uh, all the other finance also. There's so many other fields, audit, those are areas. Yeah,
That's a really good
absolutely.
point. And that's a really good point. Yeah, you gotta get the solid foundation first.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
absolutely.
All right. And what kind of beginner accounting software would you recommend for students to start with, such as getting used to looking at financial statements or beginner-friendly tutorials? What could you recommend?
Absolutely. So basically, the software, there are two softwares. We have accounting software, we have the Sage, and we have the QuickBooks. The QuickBooks sounds much simpler compared to Sage. I would say get a handle on the QuickBooks first. Try to get the understanding of how things work. And once you have got some basic understanding of QuickBooks, then you can go into the the Sage accounting, which is more like accounting or accountant oriented. It doesn't allow you so many things to do. Everything is like kind of bound together. In QuickBooks, you can play with it. They are like options to do things in there, make mistakes, and be still be able to correct it in some way. That doesn't mean that nothing is happening in the background. Remember, if you make a mistake, don't think that it will not come up anywhere. It will definitely show up somewhere. But generally the system is much user friendly, so it allows you to do things easily, and it doesn't put any restrictions on doing the stuff. So I would say QuickBooks should be a good start.
QuickBooks. All right.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, well, thank you so much for the questions. Now, I want to open up the floor to
yeah.
any questions. So, okay, feel free to raise your hand or drop your questions in chat. I've seen quite a number of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we actually do have a questions from the Q&A box, and it says, or the student was asking, how is Excel used in this program? Like, do students need any Excel knowledge prior to taking any of these courses?
Good point. Excel, see, in accounting, Excel is something which is the starting point when you want to move from manual bookkeeping to the online or the computerized bookkeeping. Usually, having a basic knowledge of Excel definitely helps. And I think it must be in our course also here somewhere. They should have something like that where they make you understand, have a basic knowledge of Excel. What Excel does is that it helps you to do reconciliations, which normally you do it in the outside first before you have a report here. Having a knowledge of Excel helps you to basically, I could say, pull up the reports from the softwares, put it in Excel, transport them there, and then be able to work with that. So if you have a good understanding of um, Excel, it will definitely help you to do things better. Uh, yeah. So I would definitely say, but don't not a very high level understanding is required. Just a basic understanding. You should be able to move around in Excel, the properly without any issues. If you want to take a notch higher, you can, there are certain more advanced things which can be done with it. But at least to start with, yeah, a basic understanding of Excel is must. Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah, so the same person was actually wondering, does this certificate or does this program help people with no Excel experience? Like she's completely new to Excel, she has no prior Excel experience. Will this program help her advance her Excel experiences or knowledge in that field?
Yeah, it's something definitely Excel definitely is a part of I wouldn't say part of it, but having a knowledge of Excel definitely helps. But if you develop the understanding of the software as such and be able to print reports, then that should be sufficient to start with. But I would still strongly suggest that you should definitely get a basic understanding of Excel, at least maybe do a course, a small course. There are a lot of courses available which give you a basic understanding. Because I would say don't be just like 100% naive in Excel. Have little bit of an understanding of it. That's how I will take it. But that should not still prevent you to pull through things. But at some point you might be needing it. That's how I will take it. Yeah.
Perfect. I do have one other question for
Sure.
you. Can you please tell us a little bit about the difference between bookkeeping and accounting?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, I had mentioned to you earlier at some point when we were talking about other questions. Bookkeeping, where bookkeeping ends, accounting starts. So how it works is that bookkeeping is basically the recording of the transactions on a day-to-day basis. And as you record those transactions, then the month ends, and then at the month ends, then you are doing reconciliations at your end also. Now, when the year end is coming, again, it depends on company to company. Some small, usually we have in Canada small companies, so they would not do it every month, but maybe a quarterly analysis they might do. The accountant's main role is to analyze what the bookkeepers have done, be able to make sure that bookkeepers have done a good job of it. They have classified all the transactions properly. They have recorded all the transactions properly. They have put a proper, there is a proper backup of what they are doing. And that's where accountants roles comes in. So they have to analyze it. They have to make sure that all the what you call the closing entries or the adjusting entries are recorded properly and are taken care of. Because ultimately the balance sheet and the income statement is the role of the accountant. Yes, when you do bookkeeping, that report is automatically produced, but to analyze it, to make sure that everything is, looking good, uh, then there the role of accountant comes. And accountants usually deal with the senior people, and they whatever the bookkeepers do, they are like kind of a liaison between bookkeeping and bookkeepers and the management. So that's where their role comes as an accountant in a company. Yes, accountant can also be somebody who's an outside third party who are basically doing the taxes for them. Then that's a different thing. But yeah, as an accountant in the company, that's where the role of the accountant comes in. Any other questions we have?
Do we have any questions? Doesn't seem like anyone is responding. Maybe like, is anyone still typing a question, or we do have more Q&A? Not really much. Okay, it seems like no one has any more questions. Do you have any final words of advice or thoughts to share, Sanjay?
Well, the only thing I will say is that please, if you're joining this course, have this thing in your mind that you're joining a professional course. So your mindset should automatically be more like, as a professional. If you are new to this particular, accounting, then please have that mindset in your minds that, yeah, you can do it. You have your soft skills in your previous job, and you will be able to transfer them very easily to your this accounting background or accounting field. So that is where I think you should try to focus on. There are people who might be interested in becoming a bookkeeper as a full-fledged business. Very good opportunity to learn here. Once you have a good understanding of the software, you can definitely, start your own business also if you have, that kind of a entrepreneurship, attitude in your thing. So that definitely is a very good opportunity there. Um, and yeah, and other than, please be prepared to put in some hours into the course. Don't just depend on the course it's being like talked in the video, the teacher instructor is giving you that. Please ask question, whichever course you are doing. Ask the instructor question. Don't be shy. That is how you're going to learn it. That is how you're going to become a better person in this profession or for any matter for that. Thank you very much. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for taking the time to join with us today. This has been extremely insightful. And it's always a great opportunity to converse with an experienced and knowledgeable individual such as yourself. I think the new students will be lucky to have you as their teacher. To find out more information, you can find all the links in the description, or check out our website to read all about the program information or learn about the registration process. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great rest of your day.